Hello and welcome to the 6 Steps to Effective Temperature Mapping Master Webinar. I'm Nathan Roman, and we'll be taking a high-level journey through the entire temperature mapping process. This session is perfect if you're looking for an overview of the critical steps with actionable takeaways that you can apply immediately. Today, we're going to explore the vital process of temperature mapping. Welcome to the 6 Steps to Effective Temperature Mapping. This is a critical yet often overlooked topic. Temperature mapping is the backbone of industries like pharmaceuticals and food, biotech, and healthcare, ensuring their samples and products remain safe, effective, and compliant with regulations. In this session, we're going to go deep on a topic that's more important than what most people realize: temperature mapping. We're going to be using 6 steps to effective temperature mapping as our guide. Temperature mapping is crucial because it ensures that products are stored and handled under conditions that meet all regulatory requirements, keeping them safe and effective for their intended use. It's about understanding and controlling the environments for sensitive products. Think about how companies ensure medicines stay potent, foods remain safe, or lab results stay reliable. A big part of that answer is temperature mapping. We'll touch on the 6 essential steps of temperature mapping. Effective temperature mapping begins with understanding its purpose, ensuring product quality, safety, and regulatory compliance. This foundational knowledge sets the stage for success. The 6-step framework acts as a roadmap, guiding you through each critical phase. It starts with gathering comprehensive prerequisite forms, which provide the detailed puzzle pieces about equipment, calibration, and personnel. Then you move to defining your user requirement specifications, your URS, a precise blueprint that aligns system capabilities and project needs along with safety standards. A meticulous equipment walkdown would be next, catching any potential issues like miscalibrated sensors before the project escalates. Next comes strategic sensor placement, considering things like airflow, hot and cold spots, and product sensitivities to ensure your robust data collection. Finally, rigorous qualification protocols, those IQ, OQ, PQ documents, qualifying every aspect of the system, confirming it operates as intended and meets compliance requirements. Together, these steps create a systematic, reliable approach to temperature mapping, ensuring confidence in your process and outcomes. This real-world foundational knowledge helps participants understand the key principles of temperature mapping, equipping them to handle challenges confidently and effectively. It provides a clear framework enabling them to identify risks, improve workflows, ensure compliance with regulatory standards. This session's going to set the stage for actionable insights that drive better decision-making and outcomes. Now, with this understanding of the foundation, let's go ahead and dive into the specifics of step 1. Imagine opening your refrigerator only to find that some sections of the unit are freezing while others are basically room temperature. That's a clear indication of uneven temperature distribution. Now, scale this up to a warehouse or a laboratory or even transportation systems. Temperature mapping creates a detailed profile of temperature variations, helping to identify and mitigate those hidden hot and cold spots that could compromise sensitive products. Temperature mapping is a cornerstone of quality assurance in industries such as pharmaceuticals, where vaccines potency depends on precise temperature control, and food processing, where safety hinges on maintaining proper storage conditions. Temperature consistency safeguards the stability and quality of products. For example, a vaccine stored outside its designated range might lose its effectiveness putting public safety, putting you at risk. By ensuring uniform conditions, temperature mapping supports both product integrity and regulatory compliance. Hot and cold spots are problematic because they jeopardize product safety, result in regulatory violations, and could lead to financial losses or recalls. So, through careful mapping, these risks are proactively addressed, ensuring a controlled environment for sensitive goods. As we move into step number 2, let's discuss how we can lay the groundwork for this mapping process through the use of prerequisite forms. These forms are critical in gathering the essential details needed to guide a successful temperature mapping study. As outlined in 6 steps to effective temperature mapping, prerequisite forms are foundational to a successful mapping process. These forms, or the idea of these forms, I feel are often overlooked, but they really are the foundation of successful mapping process. They ensure that all relevant information is captured before you start. Thinking of them as assembling puzzle pieces that create a clear picture of the environment. These forms document the make and model of equipment, calibration procedures, environmental conditions, and even the personnel workflows. For example, frequent door openings or airflow blockages by personnel can introduce temperature variations that must be considered during mapping. By consolidating critical details, these forms enhance accuracy, they save time, and they minimize risk during execution. For instance, knowing equipment calibration up front prevents surprises that could derail your mapping timeline. Effective preparation through comprehensive prerequisite forms ensures that projects run smoothly and remain compliant with regulatory requirements, avoiding those costly delays and inefficiencies. We've defined temperature mapping. We've gathered the intel through the prerequisite forms. So where do we go next? Serve as the foundational documentation for any temperature controlled system. It acts as a comprehensive wish list specifying exactly what the system needs to achieve in terms of functionality, safety, and compliance. The URS defines acceptable temperature ranges, allowable fluctuations, monitoring systems, and alarm setups, ensuring that all critical aspects are covered. The URS bridges the gap between high-level goals and detailed implementation by providing design criteria, clear design criteria, and validation requirements. It ensures that the system aligns with operational needs and regulatory standards. Adhering to regulatory and safety standards outlined in our URS not only captures or ensures compliance, but it also guarantees that the system is reliable and meets the stringent requirements of the industry. This document is indispensable for maintaining integrity and achieving operational success. A thorough equipment walkdown ensures that all physical components are correctly installed and functional. The equipment walkdown is a critical preparatory step. It's akin to a dress rehearsal before a big performance, or a practice before a big game. Confirming that all components are in their proper places and functioning as intended before proceeding to data collection, before proceeding to execution. A comprehensive walkdown ensures the systems meet design specifications and eliminates the potential issues that could impact accuracy and reliability. Early identification of issues can prevent costly delays and ensure the system's integrity. During this step, common issues such as calibration errors, incorrect installations, or missing documentation are often identified. By addressing these issues early, you avoid disruptions during the mapping process, ensuring that data is collected accurately and trustworthy. During this step, common issues such as calibration errors, incorrect installations, or missing documentation are often identified. There's been times that I go out to a job site and I come upon the unit that I'm supposed to be qualifying for temperature mapping, and the unit is not set up. There are no shelves in the unit. There are no monitoring probes set up correctly inside the unit yet. The manual is still taped to the front of the door. So doing that equipment walkthrough allows me to verify if the unit is actually set up and ready for qualification. The walkdown verifies that all components are in compliance with the design regulatory standards, reducing the risk of errors during the qualification. This preparation is what ensures a smooth transition into subsequent phases like sensor placement and protocol execution. Now that we've laid the groundwork for gathering information, walking down the equipment, inspecting the equipment, we're ready to really start gathering the data. This is where things really start moving. Proper sensor placement is key to accurate and effective temperature monitoring. As detailed in the 6 steps to effective temperature mapping, sensor placement is a pivotal step that ensures the accuracy and reliability of the data collected. So sensors are going to act as temperature detectives, or temperature spies, if you will. The minions come to mind, capturing critical variations across the environment. I'm kind of excited to talk about it, like strategically placing these sensors throughout the environment. It's where it starts to get fun, but it's not as simple as just, putting them anywhere. We need to really be strategic about where these sensors are placed. Make sure that we get a complete picture of the temperature profile. We'll need to think about airflow patterns. How airflow moves within the space you're mapping. We need to think about where these potential hot and cold spots might be. Are there areas that are more prone to temperature fluctuations than others? We need to also think about the products themselves. Okay, so we all know that some products or samples are more sensitive than others. So it seems like it's a bit of a balancing act, getting good coverage, but also being efficient. We want enough data to make informed decisions, but we don't want to go overboard. We're not just winging it. We're using some established standards to make sure our sensors are placed correctly. Guidelines from organizations like ISPE, FDA, WHO, and GAMP provide detailed recommendations for sensor placement. These guidelines help ensure that sensors are positioned to accurately reflect environmental conditions, meeting both operational and regulatory compliance. Now it's time to put it all together. Okay, so that brings us to the final step in the 6-step framework. Qualification protocols validate that the equipment operates as intended under varying conditions. This is where we qualify the entire system. We're going to make sure it's working as intended, meeting all those requirements. Think of it as a final exam for our temperature controlled system. We use a series of 3 protocols: installation qualification, IQ, operational qualification, OQ, performance qualification, PQ. Each of these documents focus on a different aspect of the system, making sure that it's built right, functions correctly, and can handle real-world challenges. So we're proving that the system can actually deliver, while each protocol addresses a specific aspect of system readiness. Installation qualification, IQ. This document verifies that the equipment is installed correctly according to manufacturer specifications and system requirements. Operational qualifications, OQ. This document confirms that the system operates within defined parameters and meets the requirements outlined in your URS. Performance qualification, PQ. This document tests the system under real-world conditions, ensuring consistent performance throughout. Effective execution of IQ, OQ, and PQs ensures that the system is compliant and ready for operational use. These protocols are not just formalities, but essential steps that validate system reliability and compliance. Detailed planning, skilled execution, and continuous monitoring throughout these phases ensures that your equipment can maintain the necessary conditions even under challenging scenarios, proving confidence in the data and safeguard your product quality. We really put the equipment through its paces. We want to be confident that it can handle anything. The goal is to show that the system is robust, reliable, and that it can consistently maintain those temperatures that are so critical. So if that sounds incredibly thorough, it is. But that's what it takes to make sure that we're compliant, to give us confidence in the data that we're collecting, that it's accurate and reliable, and that we can use it to make good decisions about our products. In this session, we've covered the foundations of temperature mapping by walking through the 6 steps outlined in 6 steps to effective temperature mapping. From defining temperature mapping, gathering critical data, to inspecting equipment, and validating the system. Each step provides a robust framework to ensure compliance and quality. It's fascinating to see how these 6 steps come together, from defining temperature mapping to those rigorous qualifications. It all builds a framework for ensuring those products are safe and effective. It really highlights how important a systematic approach is to temperature mapping. I hope that you've all learned a lot today, exploring the world of temperature mapping in such detail. Future webinars will dive deeper into each of these steps. We'll provide real-world examples, case studies, and advanced troubleshooting techniques to enhance your understanding and application of these principles. We look forward to exploring each step in more detail in our upcoming sessions. Join us to transform knowledge into actionable insights. Consider how the principles of temperature mapping can be applied beyond compliance and into improving workflows of your processes in your daily work. A systematic approach that we've discussed leads to better decision-making and more reliable outcomes. Let's keep the conversation going in future sessions. So for now, thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time.